On today's episode of Warehouse Safety Tips, we're going to be continuing on with our vehicle safety tips. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast.
For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about vehicle safety, and this is going to be no different. This is our fourth week of talking about all the different vehicles and the different protocols and tips and tricks that you have in your location. And today we're going to give you 5 tips that are going to hopefully help you not only stay compliant with OSHA guidelines, but also all the guidelines of your specific facility. And with all of our tips, make sure that you do follow all the basic and advanced tips, tricks, compliance, and just guidelines that you have at your specific facility. So the very first thing we want to talk about is going to be making sure that you do pre and post checklist. So that's going to be when you're coming off of a shift to make sure that you go and check the truck or the vehicle or the lift truck that you're using to make sure that there's nothing going on with the battery, the wheels, that the mast and the lift is okay, that all of the indicators are working correctly, and also make sure that you go over anything that's been happening with the previous staff member, team member, that there might be say some sort of a box that you need to watch, a certain rack issue. It doesn't matter what the issue is, just make sure that you're brought up to speed on what's going on with your shift. The next thing is when you get done with your shift, do the exact same thing with the person that's incoming to make sure that they know anything that you've experienced. If anything has changed with the truck or the vehicle, make sure that they know about that. And that brings us to another thing, and that is if there is in fact an issue, make sure that you address it immediately and do not allow anybody to be on that vehicle, lift truck, tow motor, whatever the case may be, until you know exactly what's going on and that all the issues have been fixed and that you know exactly what the issue was and that it's been rectified. So another thing is going to be how you go about your checklist. There's wearables and transmitters and things that you can do that kind of throw technology into it. Know that that's an opportunity that you can look at down the road at your facility. And then also make sure that you're going through and having a regular checklist that you are able to go through, that not only in those pre and post checklists, but that you're following a checklist and a maintenance schedule to ensure that even though you're going through and checking those things pre and post shift, that there is regular maintenance being done and regular checks being done even outside of the people that are operating the actual lift trucks. That way there's a third party, probably maintenance or a safety coordinator or both, or even a third party that's coming in and doing it to make sure that everything is correct, that is being done. Make sure this is something that we didn't actually cover in the print version of the podcast, but make sure that the person that's operating the truck, lift truck, the vehicle in any capacity, whatever kind of vehicle it is at your location, that they are certified to do so. You don't want to have somebody on a vehicle that is not licensed to be on that vehicle, because that is, number one, going to be unsafe for them. It's going to be unsafe for your location, but it's going to be unsafe for those around them. So just make sure that if they're on that lift truck or that tow motor or any vehicle at your location, that they are covered and allowed to do so. So make sure that you're going through and teaching people the correct ways that in both new people that come on, current people, and people that are coming in, that they know all of the guidelines, all of the OSHA guidelines, and that they know everything that they're supposed to be doing at your specific facility. And then just make sure that everyone is going through and doing what they're supposed to do. So at the end of the a week or on a regular basis, go through and have meetings to make sure that you're always looking for constant, never-ending improvement on all this stuff that has to do with anything that has to do with your vehicles and, of course, safety in general. So I think that's going to cover the last bit of the guidelines that we have for you, so far as safety trucks. Something, again, that is not part of the actual print version of this, but make sure that if you are on a lift truck or something that has any potential of throwing you off or you falling from it, that you're wearing the proper harnesses and or belt systems to where you're always safe and not doing something that is going to get you hurt or thrown off. But I think that covers just about everything that we want to cover. Make sure, again, that you follow your specific guidelines at your facility. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to message us. We'd be more than glad to research it and have it on a future episode. So thank you very much for being part of yet another warehouse safety tips. If there's anything that we can ever do for you, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day, stay safe, and here is a word from one of our sponsors.
It's scientifically unexplainable. It's virtually indestructible. And it's taking over the entire planet. But in a really good way. It's Mighty Line floor tape, the most durable floor tape in the world. 7 times thicker than average floor tape. Beveled to endure pounding warehouse traffic. And backed with a super strong peel and stick adhesive, so you'll never have to worry about painting shop floors again. Mighty Line floor tape, the only durable stripe.